Lost land. There's a somebody I'm longing to see.
Now that snippet you just heard was Jane Fraser and Rory Keane, and you can see the full performance at the end of this interview. Now I'm joined by John Daly of Limerick Jazz Festival, and that is just only a small snippet of what you can expect from this very jam-packed event.
Yes, Meghann, it is. And they were so kind to come in and do this for us on short notice. Jane is just back from London after cutting 5 tracks in the studio.
Wow.
And Rory was at work, so he came in. So it's great that these people can just drop a hat to come in. And this was like a 1-minute rehearsal to do a very difficult song.
Oh, it was absolutely incredible. As I said, it will be at the full one will be at the end of the
Yeah.
show. Now, Limerick Jazz Festival, I think it's so great to see there's a festival here that jazz is so popular in Limerick.
Well, it's popular for the simple reason that it's taken us 40 years to make it popular, because in 2021 is our 40th anniversary, which is an amazing achievement, because Limerick Jazz Society is probably the only one of the very few societies actually running in the country now, and it's definitely the longest running society. But there was jazz. Jazz was big in Limerick in the 50s and 60s because the big band era, and which eventually went into the show band era. But jazz was always the pastime of all these musicians. So it has been there. It just died away a little, and then we started to bring it back again, because, you know, music is such a great thing to have in any city, but a variety of music is the most important thing, and Limerick is amazing for the size.
This is the thing about Limerick, I think a lot of people from outside Limerick don't understand or don't really know about. Limerick has so many little pockets of different genres of music, festivals, and so many different, like, we've interviewed rappers in the show, we've had pop stars, we've had indie, we've had country, now we've got jazz. Like, it's incredible, as you said, somewhere so relatively small is producing so much music.
Well, per capita, I think the stats are wild, because I think Limerick is top of the list when it comes to, you know, the amount of music and musicians that are in the city, and there's such a diverse selection. I'm going back to when I started playing, which was in the 70s, you know, and like live music was incredible back then, because all the pubs had bands, and all the bands were like, everybody was busy back then, you know. Whereas, you know, as time went on and everything changed, and like the smoking ban then came in, and that really changed everything, because now all the people were not going to the pubs as much anymore. They're drinking probably a few drinks at home, going straight to a nightclub or something. So the band was kind of caught in the middle. And, you know, but I would hope that a resurgence is going to happen, especially after the recession we've had. You know, some people say it's still on, you know, in Limerick, but I just hope that, you know, it just gets stronger and stronger, because when you look at places like Dolan's, I suppose, incredible live music venue, and most of the festivals on there this year, we usually have places like the Bell Table or Lime Tree, but it depends on the acts as well, you know, and you have to be realistic, I suppose, in booking the acts and what kind of an audience you have and who you're going to capture for those particular performances, you know.
Yeah, I just think it's phenomenal. And the Limerick Jazz Festival runs from the 27th to the 29th of September. As I said, you have so many events taking place across so many venues as well. Is there anything that you're particularly looking forward to? I know, I'm sure all of them, but is there one, if someone now watching right now is like, you know what, I want to go to my very first maybe jazz gig or something, what would you recommend?
Well, I think there's 2 particular ones there that would appeal to a cross-section of people. That's Sarah Gillespie, and she is of the kind of Joni Mitchell era, you know, and she's doing a mix, because her musicians are jazz musicians, but her style is kind of bluesy Joni Mitchell type, which is really cool, right? The other one I think are going to be the surprise package of the festival are Septeto International. Now, they're based in Switzerland, but they're from all over the world. There's a guy coming I had an email the other day. I had to send off an email to verify for his visa. He's coming from Cuba.
Oh, wow.
So this is Afro-Caribbean, Latin, Cuban. This is going to get the hands and feet moving, because this 7-piece band are electric. They're just incredible, you know. And I think they're going to be a surprise package. But there's every act on this festival, I'm proud to say, is like really top class. I mean, Darius Brubeck is the famous son of a very famous dad. You know, if anybody thinks back to the 50s when the famous tune called Take Five came out, well, this is his dad, and he celebrates his centenary next year, the dad, and he's actually doing an album to celebrate that. So I think all the acts are really top quality acts. I'm delighted that they've all agreed to come, you know, because it doesn't always work like that. You'll ring or contact an artist or an agent and say, where's it on, blah, blah, blah. But the fact, like you had somebody like Van Morrison here in 2014, and Van wants to come back.
Brilliant.
He loves to come back. It's just he's been very busy for the last couple of years doing albums, you know. So someone of that caliber, you know, wants to come back to the festival. It really does help get the word out, you know.
That's amazing. And just even hearing, like, there's people from local level all the way internationally, that is just absolutely incredible. If anyone wants to get more information, where can they get it for Limerick Jazz?
Well, they can go to limerickjazzfestival.com. They can download the brochure there as well. There's a downloadable format there, and the brochures are going to be all over city anyway and county. So I mean, I was out this morning for 3 hours, wore a lot of shoe leather this morning. So I did Shannon, 6 Mile Bridge, Cratlinus Road the whole way in down the Dock Road. So yeah, it's hopefully it's going to be a great festival, and we just need to get people more aware of what's happening in the city. As you said off air, there's a lot of stuff happening in Limerick.
So
you
much
know,
stuff happening.
and people don't realise. They think, Limerick is dead. Limerick is not dead. There is so much happening here. You know, they just have to go in and check it out for themselves. Limerick.ie is a really good spot to see where all this stuff is happening. Anyway.
Honestly, yeah, it is. Limerick is absolutely jam-packed. Now, John, before we say farewell, we have to introduce the song, of course. Jane is joining a band now. Is she for the festival?
Jane is, actually, when you mentioned the dates there, Meghann, it's the 26th to the 29th, because we have a jazz trail on the Thursday.
Brilliant.
So the jazz trail is going to take in 7 pubs in the city.
Oh, sounds like good fun.
Okay, so Thursday night is really kicking off the festival. Jane is going to be performing in Savoy Hotel, and she goes under the name Eve's Record Box, you know, and she's going to be playing with a guitar player by name Paddy Shanahan. She also has a bass player, Rory Murphy, and they do duo and trio things. But we have places like the Corn Store, the George Boutique Hotel, South's, Mickey Martin's, you know, the Corn Store, I already said, places like that. You know, there's loads of places. They just have to look it up online or on the brochure, and it's going to be different gigs in each one, all different types of bands, you know. Wow, so that's 7 venues.
It's great to see so many venues as well, and it's such an eclectic mix of venues get involved.
I have to really thank the venues as well, because the venues are very supportive, and that's really important when you're holding a festival, that you have the support from the city. You really need that support to make stuff happen. And, you know, I'm very happy to say that all these places, Clayton Hotel, they've all been really good to take somebody and put something on for the night, you know, because it's just that injection that you need to start a festival anyway. I
cannot wait for it. John Daly of Limerick Jazz Festival, thank you so much for chatting.
Thanks so much, Meghann. Thank you.
And now I think it's time that we take a listen to Jane and Rory.
There's a saying old, says that love is blind. Still we're often told, seek and you shall find. So I'm going to seek a certain lad I've had in mind. Looking everywhere, haven't found him yet. He's a big affair that I cannot forget. Only man I ever think of with regret. I'd like to add his initial to my monogram. Tell me, where is the shepherd for this lost lamb? There's a somebody I'm longing to see. I hope that he turns out to be someone who watch over me. I'm a little lamb who's lost in the woods. keep. Won't you tell him please to put on some speed? Follow my lead. Oh, how I need someone who watch. Oh,